Imagine that in your world, any private email, money transfer, or conspiratorial plot could be read by anyone willing to read it. No doors, no passwords, no electronic shields, just open access. Creepy, huh? Well, for the majority of the history of humanity, this was the case. And that is where cryptography steps in. Cryptography, in its most basic form, is the art and science of ensuring that information is kept secure so that only the appropriate people can read or use it. From secret codes of ancient generals to complicated algorithms that secure today's internet, cryptography has always been about trust, privacy, and security. In this video, we're going to take a journey through the fascinating world of cryptography while exploring its history, its principles, and its critical role in our modern digital lives. Whether you're new to the subject or simply curious, by the end, you'll understand why cryptography truly makes the digital world possible. This video was created by a team with backgrounds from IITs, top UK universities, and other leading global institutions, because we genuinely love building things and explaining how they work. If you want to learn how cybersecurity is actually used by people from top global universities, not just to play around, but to solve real problems, then make sure to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe. Let's build real skills, not just hype. The history of cryptography stretches back thousands of years, even prior to the computer era. Early civilizations soon realized the importance of confidentiality to protect military strategy, royal communications, or personal messages. The earliest known example, perhaps, is that of ancient Egyptians, who used hieroglyphic substitution occasionally to hide meaning. Later on, in ancient Greece, the skytale was utilized by the Spartans, a wooden rod around which a piece of parchment was wrapped so that messages could be read only if an appropriately sized rod is utilized. Perhaps most notoriously, Julius Caesar devised what he has since been called the Caesar cipher, a relatively simple schema involving the transposition of the letters in the alphabet to conceal the true message. Even though rudimentary by today's standards, these methods were the precursors of the art of secret writing, showcasing human nature's innate requirement to protect information and maintain an advantage through secure communication methodologies. Over the centuries, cryptography followed the complexity of human society. In the Middle Ages, substitution and transposition ciphers were all the rage, used by diplomats and monarchs to send secure letters. In the Renaissance period, thinkers like Leon Battista Alberti introduced advancements like the polyalphabetic cipher that significantly toughened the task of breaking codes. Cryptography reached new heights during the World Wars. When it became a make or break point, the Germans relied very much on the Enigma machine, which was a mechanical cipher machine considered unbreakable during the war. It was, however, broken, using the resourcefulness of codebreakers like Alan Turing and his colleagues at Bletchley Park, something that accelerated the termination of the war and transformed history. This innovation marked the transition from centuries of classical cryptography to our machine-based mathematical processes of today. The history of cryptography is not solely a history of secrecy. It's a history of survival, strategy, and technology advancement. At its simplest, cryptography is the practice of maintaining confidential information so that only those intended to understand it are able to. It operates on readable ordinary data, i.e. plain text, and renders it unreadable ciphertext using mathematical code. Only with the correct key can that ciphertext be decoded back into plain text. But it's not just hiding messages. It's about ensuring 4 fundamental attributes of communication: confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. Confidentiality protects data from being seen by others. Integrity confirms it has not been modified. Authentication confirms the identity of the sender. And non-repudiation confirms no one can dispute they did it. Cryptography now underpins almost every aspect of our internet lives. From the passwords we enter for our internet banking to protecting email and cloud storage. Without cryptography, the internet we enjoy today, that's built on trust, confidentiality, and secure communication, would simply fail to function. Symmetric encryption is the earliest and most straightforward encryption that uses the same secret key for locking, encrypting, and unlocking, decrypting the data. Imagine a single physical key that locks and unlocks a treasure chest, and you can protect or recover the contents. The method is fast and easy to use, so it is ideal for encrypting large amounts of data. Some of the early algorithms were the Caesar cipher and Vigenère cipher, which employed character shifting or cycling patterns. Symmetric encryption has been a lot more potent using mathematical algorithms like the Data Encryption Standard, DES, and its successor, the Advanced Encryption Standard, AES. Both rely on complex transformations, making the ciphertext appear random, even when intercepted by the attackers. The challenge, however, comes in how securely the secret key itself can be transmitted between the sender and receiver. The strength of symmetric cryptography lies in the simplicity and rapidity, but also in the vulnerability of requiring a shared secret key. If the key falls into the wrong hands, the entire communication is compromised. This leads to the key distribution problem. How do two parties, e.g., geographically separated regions, exchange the secret key safely without interception? It used to be achieved traditionally by using secure media or trusted messengers. But when digital communication usage became widespread on a global scale, these were no longer possible. However, symmetric encryption is still widely used today, particularly in securing stored data, encrypting files, or protecting data transfer in closed systems. It is the most suitable when speed matters and both parties can exchange a secret securely beforehand. To escape from the limitations in open networks like the Internet, something else was required, something that did not include a shared key to begin with. And so, asymmetric cryptography emerged. Asymmetric cryptography, or public key cryptography, was developed to deal with the limitations of symmetric systems, and in particular, the key distribution issue. Instead of relying on a common key, it uses a pair of mathematically related keys, a private key and a public key. The public key can be freely distributed to the public, while the private key must be kept secret in the hands of its owner. If they want to send you a secure message, they encrypt it using your public key, and only your private key can decrypt it. This way, even if the public key is distributed openly, you alone can view the secure content. The brilliance of this method is that it avoids having to exchange a secret key initially. Thus, secure communication in open networks like the Internet becomes possible. One of the first and most successful systems was RSA, created in the 1970s, which still exists and is in use today. Aside from encrypting messages, asymmetric cryptography also introduced a very powerful concept: digital signatures. With digital signatures, a user can use their private key to sign a message, and anyone with their public key can verify whether it's genuine. Not only does this establish confidentiality, but also authentication and integrity. The recipient knows who the message came from and whether or not the message was altered. These properties are the foundation of modern security, like SSL/TLS, which guards web traffic, and PGP, which guards emails. Even though asymmetric cryptography is slower and computationally more costly than symmetric methods, it is typically employed in conjunction with symmetric cryptography in practice. For example, asymmetric encryption is used for secure exchange of a session key, and more rapid symmetric algorithms are used for performing most of the data transfer. This hybrid system takes the advantage of both systems, and that's the reason we can shop, bank, and communicate securely online today. The building blocks of cryptography are founded upon four fundamental principles, popularly termed as its pillars: confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. Confidentiality keeps information from being visible to everybody except for the intended recipients, just like keeping your diary hidden so only you can see it. Integrity guarantees that the message itself is not changed during transmission. Think of it like mailing a letter in an envelope. Break the seal and you can be certain the letter has been read. Authentication guarantees that whoever is sending it is who they claim to be, similar to showing your identification card at a guarded building entrance to confirm that you are, in fact, the person whose name is on it. Finally, non-repudiation prevents any person from denying he or she acted, much like a signed name on a legal agreement testifies to responsibility. The four pillars all contribute to the foundation of secure digital communications. Whether you log into your email account, transfer money online, or sign an electronic document, these ideas are working behind the scenes, keeping your information safe, sound, and credible. Without them, our online activities would not have the safety and trust we too easily take for granted in our networked world. No longer are cryptography and secret codes and military tactics. Now, it is all around us and an integral part of our daily lives. Every time you log into social media, access your email, or purchase something online, cryptography is working behind the scenes for you. Encryption is used in online banking to ensure that transactions are secure so that sensitive financial information will not be intercepted. End-to-end encrypted messaging apps such as WhatsApp and Signal allow you and your intended recipient only to view your chat. Even if you're just surfing the net, you can see a little padlock icon in your browsing indicating that SSL/TLS encryption guards your connection from interceptors. Cryptography is also the basis for digital signatures applied in contracts, blockchain technology applied in cryptocurrencies, and secure employee access systems. In essence, cryptography gives the trust and the privacy that enable contemporary digital existence, enabling billions of individuals to communicate, share, and exchange online without worrying about constant exposure or betrayal. Cryptography is no longer a protective shield. It really fuels some of the most advanced technology shaping our world today. Blockchain and digital money like Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, are constructed primarily around cryptographic hash functions and digital signatures to provide transparency, immutability, and trust without a controlling center. In cloud computing, cryptography makes data sharing and storage possible securely so that business and individuals can deposit sensitive information on remote servers safely. Cybersecurity measures use encryption to keep hackers away, and safe communication protocols like VPNs and HTTPS shield users while connected via public networks. Even emerging fields like artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things depends on cryptography to secure enormous flows of networked information. From securing your fingerprint on a smartphone to making e-voting technologies function, cryptography is a science more than theory. It is an energetic, evolving force that guards the digital realm and keeps it up and running every single day of the year. While cryptography itself has progressed a long way in terms of sophistication, it is greatly threatened by evolving technology. The advent of quantum computing threatens to make obsolete many of the encryption algorithms in common use by breaking problems that classical computers cannot. It brought about the creation of post-quantum cryptography, which is an algorithm that will remain secure even in the quantum era. Another conundrum is achieving balance between security and usability. Overly complex systems will discourage people from using them, and overly compromised systems invite weakness. Additionally, issues like data privacy, government surveillance, and computer crimes raise frequent ethical and practical debates regarding how cryptography must be employed. Cryptography will evolve further, protecting everything from personal identities to global finance networks in the years to come. The focus will shift towards faster, stronger, and quantum-proof systems in position, so that even with a fast digital era, security and faith remain firmly secured. Let us take a moment to look at what we've accomplished in this journey through cryptography. We began by studying its origins, from the ancient ciphers and Caesar shift to the machines that broke the world wars. Then we studied the fundamentals of cryptography, the symmetric and asymmetric methods, each with its strengths and roles in securing information. The four pillars, confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation, had us see how cryptography establishes trust and confidence in each electronic transaction. We further saw real-life uses, including secure messaging and online banking, blockchain and cloud computing. illustrating how cryptography underpins modern life. Finally, we touched on the challenges still ahead, including quantum computing and ethics, and the breakthroughs that will continue to keep us safe in the future. Cryptography isn't a device. It is the unseen backbone of the digital world, protecting our information and enabling the technology that we use daily. Cryptography is the humble guardian of our digital world, protecting our data, our messages, and our identities every day. From ancient cryptography to modern algorithms, it has evolved to meet the demands of a more global and digital world. As we move toward a quantum computer world and more sophisticated cyber attacks, cryptography will continue to evolve and guard us. Studying its principles not only leads us to understand how precious it is, but also helps us utilize technology wisely. Be curious, be safe, and don't forget that the cryptographic world is everywhere.